What a fun week it is going to be in Class 5A. Week 8 of the regular season, just 2 weeks left before the postseason comes out. Again, Class 5A, it is the top 16 teams in the RPI that get in. There's no district champions, no runner-up. They play groups, so nothing like that. It's the top 16 in the RPI, and there's a cutoff line, which makes it really, really fun. You got like your kind of bubble right now. As I'm recording this on Monday, we don't have the RPI for Week 8 yet. We'll be posting about it. But nevertheless, there's a ton of teams kind of right on the edge, right around 500 that are just clawing, trying to get into that top 16 and secure themselves a postseason spot. And I didn't even mention that we have the game of the year across all classes, across all weeks. The game of the year is this week in Class 5A. We're going to talk about it later on. I'm sure you know who it is. But besides that, we've got other really, really big games. So, like I said, just a ton of fun in Class 5A this week. Teams bidding for the top 16. But here's our top 16. Nothing to do with the RPI here. This is just our rankers poll. So, again, this is not something you should go off of if you're looking to determine your playoff seeding. This is just what we have it right now. At number 16, Valley. They beat Waterloo West last week 49-0. They're one of these teams amongst I think all these 11 through 16 teams are really, really fighting and still clawing to earn a spot in the top 16 of the RPI. But right now, Valley, we have them at number 16. At number 15, Urbandale, they lost to number 2 Dowling, 29-0. Really not a bad loss there, obviously, to a contender in the class. But they're going to look to bounce back this week. Iowa City High, they got a win over Davenport North on Thursday, 47-13. And Linn-Mar snuck by Davenport West, 14-12. They are 4-3 right now. Johnston also 4-3. They beat Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln 42-10. And rounding out our little 16 through 11 group right here is Cedar Falls, who beat Dubuque Senior 42-7. Let's get into your top 10 though. Starting at number 10, Prairie. They finished the season with Bettendorf and Iowa City West. Winning both of those games could put them in the top 8 RPI ways. And again, being top 8 in the RPI is huge because although teams are fighting to get in the top 16, if you can get in the top 8 or the top half of the RPI, you're going to be home for at least one game. So finding those teams kind of in that middle ground are really fighting for that 8 spot because the difference between 8 and 9 is playing home or away. So really, really a key line there as well. So Prairie looking to finish strong. They've got 2 great chances to pick up quality wins, but both games will be tough. They're led by Colin Belke on defense, who has 63.5 tackles and 16.5 for loss this year. Hawkeyes at 5-2 lost to a very good Polk squad this week. They're still the number 3 scoring defense in the state, even after getting beat 38-0. They've got Des Moines Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln. They should finish 7-2 and be a top 7 seed. Our ranker in Class 5A does a great job of kind of predicting the RPI, and his metric, he sees them hosting if they can win their final 2 games. Again, that's Hawkeyes. At number 8, Hawkeyes Northwest at 5-2. They're averaging the most points per game this season thanks to their 76-point performance against Ottumwa. Quarterback Sam Johnson has started to throw the ball better and could be a tough out come late October. They are led by state linebacker Harry Lynan and Chase Lamb on defense. At number 7, Ankeny Centennial. All the tough games really for them on the year are over. They should finish 6-3 and as a top 8 seed. Elijah Porter is leading the team in rushing with 804 yards on the ground this season. At number 6, Ankeny at 5-2. Ankeny continues to win all the games they need to, only losing to number 1 and number 2. Again, they're 5-2, and like I just said, number 1 and number 2 are the only teams that have beat them thus far. They get a Valley team this week that is in win or go home mode. They also have 2 tailbacks with over 550 yards this season. So again, Ankeny, they've got a Valley squad playing this week, and Valley is really fighting for everything right now. We're still trying to get in the playoffs at 4 and 5 if they can win their final 2, and Ankeny is going to look to put that away. Hopping into our top 5 though, as I switch our little tabs over. Number 5, Bettendorf. No movement here in the top 5 for Class 5A. Bettendorf had a tough loss to C.R. Kennedy. But they're still only allowing 10.7 points per game, which is second best in 5A. Sam Beaker leads the team with 36 tackles for the Bulldogs. At number 4, Kennedy, number 3 in points per game this season. They have been on a tear since dropping their first 2 games of the year to PV and Dowling. They are a 2-headed monster in the backfield with Doyle and Scott, both having 500-plus yards this season. At number 3, PV, Pleasant Valley, 6-1. Great season, reeling off 6 straight after a loss to Bettendorf to open the year. They now have 4 rushers with 270 yards in the season. Taj Lyon leads the way with 570 in PV. They want to beat you on the ground. They know exactly what they're going to do, and they're going to make you try and stop it. But the game of the year in Class 5A and really across all classes, we've got Dowling Catholic and we've got Southeast Polk this week. Big one. Dowling's only allowing 9.7 points per game, which is the best in Class 5A, and they're led by junior Dylan Manning, who has 40.5 tackles on the year. They've got their hands full this week with Southeast Polk, who's just has quality win after quality win. They're 7-0, and it feels like every single week they're playing a top 16 opponent, and they just take care of them or they find a way to win. Either way, they're 7-0. Like I said, they got Dowling this week. The defense finally looked dominant in the shutout win over Hawkeyes. Connor Mobley is leading the charge for the Rams, 1,381 yards and 15 touchdowns. So really, we're going to talk about this a lot in our Thursday kind of preview show for the week. But Dowling Catholic, Southeast Polk, winner is going to secure that number 1 seed, which is going to be huge the rest of the way. It's going to be interesting to see really how much they want to show each other at this point, because it's week 8 of the regular season, and if all things align as we think, these two are going to be facing off at the Dome for a state title again. So, and that's going to be in about a month, which is crazy to think about. So it's going to be interesting to see who really pushes the envelope in this one. I know obviously both teams want to win, but you also have to find that balance. So it's going to be a ton of fun. I've seen Dowling Catholic this year. I have not seen Southeast Polk. I'm going to be there. That's going to be a ton of fun. Again, I haven't seen the Rams yet, so looking forward to that one. And I'm sure we're going to have some picks on that one coming soon later this week. Nevertheless, that's all we got for Class 5A. Be sure to follow us on socials. We're going to be posting about the RPI. We're going to have bubble teams coming out. We got some sleepers in this class that you could see making a run like Valley did last year, so maybe we'll do a little segment on who we think that could be. But nevertheless, Class 5A fans, I will catch you next time.